Hello, and welcome to another episode of Something Something Chat Show with Tom Jr. Jackson proudly presents a very goof live stream, episode 9. We are live. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, ring that notification bell so you are informed when I go live or a new video appears on the channel. And I want to welcome you all to the show, and I hope you are all having a very, very good day. I am, as always, your host and the Goof Master General, Tom Jr. Jackson, and it is always a pleasure to see you here on the best damn show on the internet. Yeah, it is. Why not? Why not say it? So, let's do a little house cleaning, and then we will get into the show. Okay, just to do some house cleaning here. Remember, all my shows are listed are not only listed on the channel itself, but they're in playlists. So if you are looking for something specific to watch, my show is in a lot of different playlists, and each playlist is listed by what it is, and you can do a marathon of each show if you would like. Now, please remember to check out my interview that I did the other night with Maria Espino. She is the CEO and president of the Last Gaming Prophecy Company Incorporated, and that was a fantastic interview. And I'm so glad so many of you have liked it. Please leave a comment down in that stream if you enjoyed it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. It will help me and the channel grow. And like, comment, and subscribe, as I said before. Um, let's see here. We're going to put some links into the chat so you can subscribe to some channels. You can check out Maria's YouTube channel after the sequels right here on YouTube. And on Saturday, uh, Saturday, June 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, Maria is doing her After the Sequels podcast live on her channel. Come join us there. I will be moderating as well as many other people, and you can find out more about that on youtube.com/after the sequels. And what I'm going to do is put the link right into the chat there, so you folks can see it and find it and check out her YouTube channel, and you can find out more about her Star Wars fan film that she is creating called The Chosen One. And as a matter of fact, watch my interview with her, and she will tell you more about that fantastic film she is making. Um, it's a great interview, and I hope many of you check it out. And as always, please subscribe to the Burn Network, run by one Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. That's right. The Burn Network is a great channel. And on the 24th of June at, I believe it's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, you can, for just as little as 99 cents, join the Burn Network and chat with Robert Burnett. That's right, you get your 7 minutes in heaven with Robert Burnett and ask him any question you would like. As well as, please check out Positive Fandom. Positive Fandom, the channel run by my moderator, who is Sometimes here, sometimes she's not here, but that's okay. Uh, we don't have that many problems here on the channel, but it is run by the wonderful RM, where every Sunday morning you can find her on her channel at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time, and you can watch her do her Sunday Brunch Live. And hello to the Force Unleashed. It is good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we go. And I'm going to put some links down there in the chat as well. Some things to promote for people who do things on the show. And yeah, but it is wonderful, wonderful to see you. I thank you all once again for coming out to my interview the other night, or if you've already watched it, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Um, it really means a lot. It means a lot that I'm getting a lot of good feedback from it, and that people enjoyed it, and it's just wonderful. And Maria was such a joy to chat with as well. And hopefully we will have her back on the channel again at some point. Um, Also, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, I believe it's either on the Network or Positive Fandom, is a live watch party with RM and Darth Plato for the movie Gettysburg. Uh, so if they're doing the historical films that they like to do reviews on, they do the watch party and talk about it. They're fantastic. So if you have the time tonight, check that out as well. But yes, thank you very much, Forced Unleashed, for the kind comment about my interview. I have to tell you, Maria and I have been talking to each other since the interview, and she was very happy with it, as was I. I was very pleased with the uh, chat about her cystic fibrosis and discussing that and discussing her foundation and so much more, talking about the movie, her showing a little bit of her trailer for it, and discussing how the process goes of making a movie like that. I think it was all fascinating. I do want to say that I have been in touch with Robert Meyer Burnett, and we're coming down with a date. He just needs to come up with it. I posed the question. He's given me an absolutely. We can set something up. I said, well, what would be a good time for you, and when should we do this? So I'm just waiting to hear back from him. And as soon as I hear back from him, and I'm going to keep asking him about it until he tells me, we will have a date soon, hopefully, for that interview, because that'll be a great interview. Also coming up on the channel, we're going to have Twin Flicks from Paul from Twin Flicks, which is a great channel if you like movie reviews and comparing um, uh, aspects of a Blu-ray and a 4K and all that stuff. Check out Twin Flicks on YouTube as well. Great friend to the channel, good friend to me. I really, um, really enjoy that and enjoy his friendship. And every now and then I'll get a message from him on my phone. Hey man, how you doing? He's a great guy. Um, yeah. So far it's just you, Force Unleashed. I know. Um, Irene Jobson has watched the interview. She loved it, and she's gotten in touch with. I think she's trying to get in touch with Maria to ask her some questions, which will be great. And I can't wait to hear how that goes down. Let's see here. And as always, folks, I shouldn't say as always, but if you would like to, um, let's see, where is it? I need to find the link here. I have a link for something that I wanted to put in the chat, which I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. If you would like to write in a letter, I'm going to be doing letters, and I have a special email address. Yeah, people will watch later. Exactly. Um, if you would like to write a letter or share an opinion or whatever, there is the email address that you can write to me at, folks. And I really appreciate it as always. Okay. Yes, I'm doing letters now. I'm trying to improve the show, um, improve my channel, trying to get things, um, expand it more, I should say. Expand the horizon and not have nothing else to say. And also include the viewers and subscribers to um, watch and interact and stuff. Um, let's see here. Yeah, that's that. That's that. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll put that one up as well. I think I might have. I'm gonna try. I have a friend who does tarot card readings. I might have her on the channel discussing how she does that, how that process works, and all that. And she's a great friend. I have her name is um, Lizzie Luna, and she actually does readings and stuff like that. So I'll get all her information and we'll discuss that. Hopefully, I can get her to come on. And hello to the one and only. Yes, yes. So if you see something that you would like me to discuss, you can even send it in as an email saying, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this?" Like I do have thoughts on the whole Turner Classic Movies thing. That is something that really needs to be preserved, really needs to be dealt with, because it's the only way at the moment that you can go online and see your classic movies. And I don't think what David Zaslav realizes is that people who live in retirement homes or nursing homes, they watch Turner Classic Movies. That's their only source of entertainment sometimes, and they love their old films. They love to watch those things. I know that RM's mother loves watching um, Turner Classic Movies, and Turner Classic Movies has some great films. There's a little um, portal on the we still call it HBO Max. No one's calling it Max. On the HBO Max app for Turner Classic Movies, and I watch. I try to watch a movie that I've never seen before on that app, or I'll watch a movie that I haven't seen in a long time that they may have on there. Which you're welcome, Mikey Lito, and welcome to the show, my friend. Yes, some of them are like last night I watched, and I hadn't watched it in a long, long time, is I watched City Slickers. I actually threw my Blu-ray of City Slickers on. Something I just felt like watching it. And watching that movie just made me so happy because it's it's just a great movie and so much fun and so many great actors in that. As a matter of fact, the young woman in City Slickers who comes to Billy Crystal's birthday party and accuses Daniel Stern of possibly getting her pregnant. The woman who plays the cashier is the woman who does Lisa Simpson's voice on The Simpsons. Her name is Yeardley Smith. Yeardley, yeah, Yeardley Smith, and she does movies every now and then. But this was a big film that she was in, and it's also one of the first appearances of Jake Gyllenhaal, who played Billy Crystal's son and Billy Crystal's daughter. Um, I think his daughter's name is Crystal. I can't remember. One of his daughters plays his real life daughter plays his daughter. Yeah. Um, there's a great person I follow on the Twitter. Let me see here. What is her name is Jenny Johnson. She's a writer. She has been part of the writer's strike, but what she's been doing is watching films that she's never watched before or that she hasn't watched in a long time. And she is, what's the word I'm looking for? Tweeting along with it. Let's see here. Um, see if I can find it. What? Okay, so if you want to follow along with her, and she's a great person to follow on the Twitter, you can follow. No, that's not what I want. Don't do that to me. Okay, so you can follow. Let's see here. If you want to follow Jenny Johnson on Twitter and tweet along with her to a movie, you can do that at let's see here, twitter.com/Jenny Johnson. No, Johnson High Five. Yes, Falling Down is a great film, and it's that scene where he goes into the store to get a Coke, and the guy goes, "It's 85 cents." He's like, 85 cents? Who pays 85 cents? If they were to make that movie now, they could have a real good opinion of that of that scene. Yes, she was. Rachel was the partner of Robert Duvall. Yes, she was. She was the partner of Robert Duvall. I'll give you a good example of how prices are inflated. I went to the movies last week and saw The Flash, and they had I went to a Regal. I haven't been to Regal in a long time, and I went to a Regal, and they had a machine full of like water and soda, and I wanted to get a bubbly water. So I go, how much is the bubbly water? $5.99, folks. That's right, $6 American. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $6 for a can of water or a bottle of water, which I didn't. I'm sorry, but I know concession prices are a big part of a movie theater, but I'm not paying $6 for a can of water or whatever it is. I'm not doing that. But I digress. I digress. Um, let's see. Yeah, as I said, she is in the movie. She's great in it. Robert Duvall is great though, and I think he just turned 90 or 91, something like that. I know Clint Eastwood just turned 93, so it's all the good actors are getting up there in age. I can tell you that. And Robert Duvall has come a long way from Boo Radley and Ferret Face. What's his name? Uh, Ferret Face. The guy from MASH. Frank Burns. That's who he played. Frank Burns. Hello to Irene Jobson and welcome. It is great to see you as always. So let's see here. So what shall I do next? Okay. Have I watched Yes, I have watched the first episode of Secret Invasion, and I really liked it. I really did. Um, it was great. It was an hour long, which is great, and I was impressed with the opening titles. The opening titles, the design of the opening titles were done with AI. Excuse me. So now we're going to see how Hollywood reacts to a major company using AI to do the illustrations for the main title of a show, and seeing how that turns out. Um, so we will check that out. Right, right. Yeah. So, and I think it fits perfectly into what Hollywood is doing to deal with that situation, because I believe I forgot who it was. Someone was demanding um that the studio sit down with the writers. I think it was a director. Some director said that, you need to sit down with the writers now and deal with the stuff. And I don't think what the writers are are asking for is unreasonable. I think I do know is that the Screen Actors Guild has gone uh, radio silent on their negotiations, which they're in right now. I messaged Justine Bateman about this, and she said that more will be discussed once they're over. And because I asked her, because we were talking about she was talking about the AI stuff or digitally using people, and my question to her was, okay, so what about people who give Hollywood the right to use their likeness and their voice through AI? Okay, so what if people are given permission to do that? I want, and she said that more will be discussed after the the writers' strike, after the Screen Actors Guild negotiations. But I'm really curious about that. Now, Force Unleashed asked a really good question. A really good question here. It's, did you hear that Marvel Studios will not be possessing presenting at Hall H this year at San Diego Comic Con? Do you think it's due to the writer's strike? Yes, I do think it is due to the writer's strike, and I'll tell you why. Is that a lot of the stuff when they go to do these presentations, someone has to write for them. You know, they have writers come up with ideas to how do we spice up these presentations. Um, right now, from what I hear, it's Disney, Marvel is not well. Let me let me backtrack a little here. Marvel will be at Comic Con, but they just won't be doing Hall H. That's what I read. And from what I'm hearing is Warner Brothers, no, Universal and HBO are also in talks not to um, do anything at Comic Con as well in Hall H or anywhere there, which I find really interesting. That if that happens, if these companies don't do anything for those big presentations, does it affect people going to Comic Con, or do they still go? I mean, it's a very unique situation. And yes, you are right, Mikey Lito. If the strike goes beyond August, it will be longer than any previous strike, which could possibly happen. And actually, the question that I have, and I would love to, and I should write into Rob about this question, is how are these movies still getting greenlit? These films there's a writer's strike going on, and then you hear, well, so and so is going to do this movie, and they're aiming for this. Well, they probably won't be doing such a movie because you got the Screen Actors Guild negotiating, and if those if those negotiations break down and the Screen Actors Guild goes on strike, you're gonna have two guilds on strike: the writers and the actors. And if the writers and actors go on strike, things will come to a standstill. They will just come to a standstill, and we will have a bit of a stoppage in movies and shows. Well, I shouldn't say in shows because we're getting mostly reality shows, and this is how I know that David Goodwin said no, it wasn't because of a writer's strike that we got the reality shows. I think we did get the reality shows through the writer's strike because there wasn't that much scripted television, so they turned to unscripted, and you get your Kardashians or your Housewives or your Vanderpumps or whatever chaos drama makers are out there. So it's a double-edged sword. Also, I want to say hello to Irene Jobson, and I hope you're doing well. I hope your family's doing well, and I want to thank you for being here, my partner in filth. Force Unleashed says, I think crowds will be thinner due to companies not presenting at Hall H this year. Yes, I think so too. Yeah, Irene says, what would life be if we can't keep up with Kimmy K and her big biscuits? Well, we wouldn't have people imitating them. Because you can see all the younger people today all act like as if they're on some sort of reality show and they got to get their Starbucks and they got to be so looking so positively like someone that they seen on TV, and they gotta they gotta look so chic and in with it and cool and be something that they're not. That's just me. Um, Mikey Lito is correct here. You would think that after COVID, the industry wouldn't be so dumb then to slam on the brakes again. Well, I don't think. Well, I know no one expected COVID happening, but you would think that, oh, look, these negotiations coming up. Let's hear what they have to say. Maybe we can work on this before XYZ happens. Yes, we will have a bunch of movies this year. We'll have a bunch of movies this year, and next year will be barren. Yeah. I mean, so far, I know that Deadpool 3 is filming. I know there are some films that are already filming or they, they filmed or in post production. So what we really don't know is what's in post production at the moment, because a lot is already in production. There are I know like Nicolas Cage has like 3 or 4 movies in post production at at the moment, but those are all like little individual indie movies. So we will see how that turns out. Going back to the TMC thing, the Turner Classic Movies thing. I from what I know is that um, Spielberg, Scorsese, and uh, P.T. Anderson have all arranged an emergency phone call with David Zaslav about saving Turner Classic Movies. And I was talking with RM about this last night, and she even brought up a good point. Because Martin Scorsese is one of the biggest people to be part of who's a big supporter of Turner Classic Movies and restoring movies and showing them for everybody. Um, she's surprised he hasn't bought, and that surprised me. I'm surprised that like a bunch of people haven't like gotten together and said, okay, we'll buy Turner Classic Movies. Like a bunch of Hollywood people, like Spielberg, Lucas, Scorsese, even Coppola. You get the big directors to do it, and they set up a company, and that company owns it, and you're able to watch those films. I think that it would be interesting. Hello, Dad Man Walking 55. Welcome to the stream. When do you Force Unleashed asks, when do you think we will see the after effects? Oh, the effects of the writer's strike. Well, we've sort of seen some of them. Like I know a lot of shows have stopped. I know like Jay Leno does You Bet Your Life. He does a new version of that. He says they've stopped production on that in solidarity with the writers. Um, what was I going to say? And I know like a lot of shows have shut down. I think Jeopardy might have shut down for a little bit. I can't remember. Um, but I do know that like a lot of shows that are coming back, usually around end of June, beginning of July, start going back to work. they start filming or they start writing rooms and whatever. Um, and they start filming in anticipation of September. Um, I'm interested in finding out how that's going down and how that works. But as yeah, it could be early next year, maybe 2025. It depends. It depends on what we have in, or what we, I say we as if I work in the industry. It depends on what the studios have in the can and what they can put out. So we will see. We will definitely have to see what happens with that. I am getting news here that at Disneyland in California, Rogers the Musical will have a VIP experience, a virtual queue, and merchandise. And from what I know, it's supposed to be an hour, half hour, something like that. That musical. Bachelor in Paradise. I think so. Yeah, because well, no, I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah. You know way too much about Bachelor in Paradise, Irene. Way too much. Way too much. And for those of you who don't get the joke, Zoom. That's my background. That's right. Remember the old show Zoom? That's my background. Oh yes, I live and love those reality shows. So much, so much. Um, let's see what else is going on. So I guess you all know by now that that sub has lost the air in it. Um, the sub that went down to look for the Titanic. The more and more I read about that submarine, that submersible that was built, the more shady it sounds. Like it was. It wasn't even an officially built one. It was like a homemade built one. It was controlled by a PlayStation game controller. Um, well, they say they're not letting him ad lib, but from what I heard, the director, I think the director said that he's found a loophole for ad libbing. So we shall say. Yeah, that submersible. I've been reading about that, and that like from the fact that someone who worked at the plant making the thing and putting the glass in had come out saying, the glass is not going to withstand a certain psi underwater, like the pressure, and he was fired from the company because of coming out and saying that. And then there was the owner of the company who said, no, no, the reason he didn't hire any white men with military experience to drive the submersible was that, and I quote, they weren't too inspirational enough. So that's why it's all young people and of diverse color. Um, here's my problem with that. That's the wrong way of using diversity. That's the, yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that because of them losing the thing, that the pressure crushed the sub. Um, they also I guess one of the women, the wives of one of the people on there, I think she was the wife of the guy who built it, or one of the people that went on the sub. Her family is descended from people who died on the Titanic or were on the Titanic itself, which is odd. You know, not odd, but yeah, an odd coincidence, I would say, an odd coincidence, a very odd coincidence with that. I mean, the only person I know of that goes down to visit the Titanic, it's James Cameron. He's like always going down there. There's a great documentary that he did with Bill Paxton, almost some 30 years ago, called Ghosts of the Abyss. That's what it was called. Ghosts of the Abyss. Yeah, well he brings Bill Paxton down into the down to see the actual Titanic. They're on the boat, and then they bring the submersibles down, and there are these two robots that go into the Titanic, and one is named Jake and one is named Elwood. It's a great film. As a matter of fact, I think I'm trying to build the points again on my Disney points, and I'm gonna try to get that movie. Like there's like a 3D version of it that I would love to get. So I would love to see that whole experience in 3D. You know, I wish they would move this bloody. Oh, that's I just got that. Or eating each other at least if they got crushed. All right, Irene. Here's the thing. Um, with this, or eating each other at least if they got crushed, it would be instant. Yes, it would be instant if they got crushed. They wouldn't be eating each other because they would have ran out of air. Um, what I think happened was that there was not enough pressure. That thing wasn't pressurized enough, and the glass they used wasn't pressurized enough, and it just broke. Yeah, getting crushed is the better option. Um, let's see here. What else? Um, oh, what else is on? I was wondering about bathroom breaks. You know, no, that is a good question. Um, I don't even think they addressed that in the documentary either. I don't even know how they would deal with that. 'Cause I know it takes several hours to get down to the Titanic itself. So I don't know. Um, I don't know how that works. So that's a really good question. I don't know if they have something in their suits or what. yeah, just craziness with all that. Um, so let's get into the other part of the show. I have, as I said before, I have Avatar here, and Avatar is in 3D. You can't really tell. It's one of those lenticular screens. Yeah, I have to tell you, Mikey Lito, Irene has it in for you. So I have Avatar, but this is in 3D. This movie, Avatar, is in 3D, and yesterday I ended up getting Avatar: The Way of Water in 3D as well. I've had the first one for a while, but I finally got Avatar in 3D. I have not watched it yet. It comes with over 3 hours of bonus features. 3 hours of bonus features. This comes with, I don't think, any bonus features at all. No, I don't think it does. I need to get the edition that has some bonus features to it. But I can't wait to sit down and watch Avatar: The Way of Water in 3D. So I didn't get to see it in 3D. The theater I saw in doesn't is not equipped for 3D. And then the other thing I have here is if you are a fan of watching Heath RM and Heath Robinson from Heath's Geekverse do their watch parties on the cultists. And I said it reminded me of a show called The Guild, which right here, this was like one of the first web series that went on YouTube. And it was like maybe 5 to 10 minutes each of um of the episodes. And this has, and the whole thing itself is exactly, see, do we have a running time? No, we don't. Oh yes, 10 hours. Is that what it says? 8 hours and 26 minutes. Oh, is that 8? Yes, 8 hours. Oh, no, no. Glasses. Glasses. I have the 3D glasses for it. I keep my 3D glasses because I have a 3D TV. No, it works with glasses. I want you to know I didn't press send to a joke I was typing. You could have sent it, Irene. You could have. You know, Irene, I was tempted to send you a link to Okay, I'm back. As I said before, I had the worst internet in the world, and that was one of the times. Let's see here. Yeah, my Wi-Fi went out too. Yeah, so I should be working fine now. Yeah, I'm fixed. So that's why I have it on my phone playing, so I can see, so I can see what, if it goes out, I can tell. No, no, you're fine. But I did send you, Irene, a link if you would like to come and join me. Just if you feel like you want to come on. You got the kids right now, or you'd hop on. I see. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. Thank you. Um, as always, RM would be here, but she is very, very busy with work today, I believe. I think she's doing something with her job. I think it's called working. So, but I'm sure she sends her best. And as I was saying, folks, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on, I want to say the Burnett work. Let me see. Um, it may be the Burnett work. There is a watch party for Gettysburg with Darth Plato and RM. Let's see here. Do. Live. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's positive fandom. So the watch party is on positive fandom, and tonight, not tonight. Where is it? So tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on the Brew Network. RM is going to be sitting down with our very own uh, favorite person, um, Stubble McShave, and they will be discussing Project Hail Mary. So join them for that. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And then don't forget, folks, on Saturday, is it Saturday? Saturday, yes. Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on the Burn Network. Join RM, Kathleen Cook of Cat's Corner, and Carmen Pasha as they discuss the Blade Runner cinematic legacy on the PGS moving image. Oh, and there she is. I know. That's okay. I said you were doing something at work. I think it's called work. So there's that. And also on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on Maria Espino's channel After the Sequels. She is doing her After the Sequels podcast. and I think they'll be talking about the dark side of the Force. So check that out. And I believe they'll be talking a bit about Jedi Outlaw and so much more. So join them for that as well if you want. And also tomorrow night, which is Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, on the Burn Network, join RM and Julian Mushkin for another all new episode of PGS Treks. Join them as they beam you up with all the trekking information that they can give you. And then later on at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, join them. Join RM, Lyle Rockwell, and Robert Meyer Burnett for Midnight Musings. I'm getting old and I had a brain fart. When will I be streaming next? I think I'm streaming tomorrow. Again, I think I might be doing Funko. I'm doing Funko Friday this Friday. Okay, I'm doing Funko Friday tomorrow. Saturday is the members only chat. Then I got the two streams I have to moderate. RM stream and Maria's stream. So I go back and forth between each stream, and that's no problem because Maria has 6 other mods as well. Then Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, I will be on the Phantasmagoria channel discussing Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with Catherine Cook. And then on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, I will be on the Phantasmagoria channel again with Catherine Cook, and we will be discussing Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And it will be a fun night. We'll be seeing who likes what, who doesn't like what. I've watched The Last Crusade the other night, and I enjoyed myself with that one. I really enjoyed that movie. Such a great movie. Am I forgetting anything here? PGS moving image, Maria's thing, the member chat. That's right, the member chat. Don't forget that you too can join the Burnt Network for only as low as 99 cents. 99 cents, a buck. A buck. I know you want to feed that kid in that poor African nation, or I shouldn't say that. Feed the kids in a poor African nation. Do that. Do that, but then take what's left over and become a part of the network. And I just canceled myself. Well, folks, it was a journey. It was a journey leading up to this. When I get canceled for being a jerk. It's a steal, all right. And you know what? For $5, you can join the Morning Disaster as well. I should put a link for Ray's channel in here, Irene, at some point. I should do that and get people to join Ray's. Folks, if you really want to see what middle America is like Illinois and all that, honestly, you would be surprised. You'd be surprised to see a man who's 57 years old who wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning and gets high and has an edible and does a morning podcast and then tells the world how he got how he either peed himself or fell and crapped himself and went to Dollywood because he found the purse and stole the money and then admits it on live YouTube. Yeah, it's a great show to watch. Okay, yes, it's called Morning. If you want to see the YouTube channel, it's called Morning Disaster. Check it out. Watch one of the videos. Irene was on one of the shows called Goose Troop, and she was great. I have to tell you, folks, Irene is naturally, you think she's funny in the chat, she's naturally funny in person. She's naturally funny. She's got a great presence on the screen. Um, yeah, it's very much. I should be unfrozen now. All right, there we go. I'm back. Ray Little's Morning Disaster. Yes. So Irene, you have to tell Ray that I was doing this. You have to if you're in his message group, you got to say Tom was hyping up your show. Yeah, I should let you know there's a 10-second delay. So everything I'm saying now, you're seeing 10 seconds later. So what you're seeing is now. Well, what about now? Well, that was then. Well, let's go back to then. We can't. Why? Because this is now. That's all I think of when I hear there's a 10-second delay, I think of that line from Spaceballs. Well, I want to go back to now. You can't go back to then. Why? Because this is now. What about then? Then is past. This is now. Yeah, but Ray's a good guy. I was on their show one morning. Ray's a good guy. He's a great guy. He's been in the radio business for years and years. He's a good guy. Good show, good people, very funny. And just know on Mondays, Ray likes to go and work out. Yeah. And I think they do like a drinking game now where if Irene shows her boobs or she pops a balloon or I don't know why someone says something, they take a drink. What do we got here? And now, folks, I'd like to introduce you to one of my new moderators, Irene Jobson. Congratulations. Irene is now a moderator. What I think of the Flash movie, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I had a blast. I had a blast with it. Um, you know, I can give away some. I'm gonna put up a banner here. Flash, wait for Max. Yeah, don't call it Max. No one calls it Max, Mikey Lito. They call it HBO Max. No one calls it Max. And if you're calling it Max, why? For why are you calling it Max? So here, I'm giving away spoilers, folks. Spoilers. You put yourself in timeout. um, okay, so here's what I think. I I enjoyed it. I love the the cameos in it. Okay, and here's the thing: had the movie done well, there was a possibility that there was going to be a Batman Beyond film. And the only reason that it wasn't announced is because they wanted to see how the Flash was going to do. And then they were going to announce a Batman Beyond film with Michael Keaton playing Batman again. Yes, he will be directing the new DCU Batman movie. Yeah. No, the CGI wasn't a problem for me. I I I found it a little odd at first, and then I heard, I was looking online and then I saw the article where the director had come out saying that this is why the CGI looks the way it does. And then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, that makes sense because you're in the speed force, that bubble. So everything's going to look weird in that speed bubble. So that made sense to me. Um, there were three cameos that were three cameos in that film that were cut out. It was Linda Carter, Burgess Meredith, and Linda Carter, Burgess Meredith, and Cesar Romero. No word yet if someone would have been throwing orange wedges at Cesar Romero's ass. We don't know. That's what Irene's getting me for my birthday. She's gonna flash me. Happy birthday! No, I'm kidding. Don't do that, Irene. Don't do that. As much as you would love to, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Um, yeah, but here's the thing: the Flash didn't do that well in America, in America, but it went to number one in England. So there are some places that it did fine. He wasn't a cameo, but he was in the film. Is when you first get into the Speed Force and you're seeing all the as he's going back in time. You do see um, a shirtless Henry Cavill, and then he sort of like disappears because the Flash was changing the past for what he was going into the past, and it just sucked up what he did, and it changed it. So yeah, I want to see it again though. I want to see it again. They were trying to figure out who played Jay Garrick, and the one person who they thought was playing the original Flash, Jay Garrick, it wasn't that person. He kept saying, "No, it's not me. It's not me." They think it may be an AI version of Jay Garrick. Some people are starting to think that's what it may be, an amalgam of an AI version of the one actor who they think it is. Could be, I don't know. But I did like seeing Christopher Reeve, and froze again. We have to disappear. Yeah, he was in it. He was in it, and it was right when he first goes into the Speed Force and he starts running. And I only know about this because it was triggering people that he was just that. He was just a cameo in that Speed Force. But they made such a good reason of not having the reason that he wasn't in it himself was fantastic. It was a great reason of how they kicked it off. And people are like, "Oh, well, it's James Cameron who did." No, they had this movie finished before James Gunn got into it. No, it's not Teddy Sears. It's not Teddy Sears. It's because he's saying it's not him. Teddy Sears has even come out and said it's not me. He's not playing him. I think they said there was a Grant Gustin cameo, but it was cut for time or something like that. But he did do a cameo, but they didn't put it in the film. There was only so much they could do, and they didn't want it to feel like too many cooks in the kitchen, as they say. Um, yeah, but well, they were, they were. I mean, nothing you can do about it. And The Flash and Aquaman 2 are going to be used as soft reboots. And the only reason The Flash didn't do well is because people prejudged it because of Ezra Miller and their problems. That's what it was. People just decided, well, if this movie's still going to be shown, we are going to make sure that it fails. And people just prejudged it. The majority of people that I've seen online talk about seeing The Flash, it's all been positive. It's been mostly those who are YouTube pundits, some who are YouTube pundits, some who are uh, people who are very much into prejudging things, who have just said this sucks. And we talked about this subject the other night of people seeing a movie before it. Uh, I mean, prejudging a movie before it even comes out, because people were prejudging it anyway. So this movie's gonna suck. DC sucks. This all no. I know you didn't. um, what's I gonna say? Yeah, so it's mostly like and what I did the other night was I just told people your term, Mikey Lito. Watch content first, form the opinion. And then Darth Plato said, call up Mikey Lito. I said, I don't have Mikey Lito's number. Then he was telling me to call Doomcock. I don't know Doomcock. Um, and then they're like, call Rob. I couldn't call Rob. I could call Rob. I could have, but he was busy. I tried to send him a thing to come hang. He was busy. So yeah. Yeah, it should be on HBO Max around September, sometime in the fall, or in the fall. But I RM has my number as well. I have RM's number. We all have our M's number. I have Rob's phone number and his address and his email. And I've seen Rob's house. I've seen pictures of it. Wonderful house. He showed it to a bunch of us on a Zoom stream before he bought it. What it was gonna, he said, this is what we're getting. And he showed us the whole layout and everything. By the way, there's a YouTube channel, and it is called The Stream. And they have like old movies like no one's ever heard of and old TV shows that are worth checking out if you're into that stuff. Here's as a 26 miracles. 26 minutes ago, the Motion Picture Academy elects the 2023 through 2024 Board of Governors. Whoopi Goldberg is out. Lou Diamond Phillips is in for Actors Branch. Okay. Um, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that's about it that I have for that stuff. Yeah, also, by the way, I just pretty much Noon House. Rob's been in that house now, I think, almost a year. Yeah, I think he's been there almost a year. Because I remember him moving. So yeah, I think he's been there almost a year. Folks, please join Mikey Lito on his OnlyFans channel, where he reveals to you his issues. For Mikey Lito has issues. And while you're on OnlyFans, please subscribe to Irene Jobson and her channel, Trash Panda. No, not Trash Panda. It's Irene Jobson's Cat Butts on Parade. full chocolate starfishy cats. All that your heart can desire on Irene's OnlyFans. Check it out today. Don't. The Mikey Lito and Irene do not have OnlyFans. I'm just saying this now so that you know. So I'm thinking later of watching Zodiac. Remember that movie Zodiac that came out almost 10 years ago? No, almost 20 years ago. Because it came out in 2007, directed by David Fincher with Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm thinking about watching that later. I don't know. But I know, are you sure? Oh, well, then Mikey Lito probably does. I don't know. And if he does, folks, sign up for it. And if you're looking to give Irene something for Christmas, she would like a pearl necklace. I mean, pearl necklaces. More than one. I broke myself. Oh boy. Yet Stanley is the cool comic book Jerry Springer. Yeah, it's about the yes, it's about the Zodiac killer. So yeah, I know I have lots of dead air. I just sometimes I'm trying to catch up with people. Says you have that's right. Mikey Lito has 6 YouTube channels, folks. 6, and on each of them, it's just him saying hi. No, um, let's see here. Ba, 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 ba. Hello to Thomas Bartholdi. Hope the book writing is going along well for you, and hope you're doing well as well. Ba, 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 ba. No, I don't want to know what's new. I don't want to know what's new. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to look for something here, folks. Yeah. What is it? The man who directed The Empty Man did the behind the scenes stuff of Zodiac, or did the yeah, I haven't watched the documentary yet either. Mikey Lito, I'm interested in seeing it. I do know this, folks, is that Ant-Man and the Wasp on Disney Plus has the commentary track on it. So if you're looking for a commentary track to watch, the special features for Ant-Man and the Wasp are now up on Disney Plus. Yeah. Well, the thing about the Stan Lee documentaries is that it's done in. It's basically Stan Lee telling his story. You know, I mean, it's Is it one-sided a bit? Maybe. But it's Stan Lee from his perspective. Besides, I don't see I don't see anybody doing a Jack Kirby documentary, you know? Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I gotta watch that Wakanda Forever commentary as well. I love watching the commentary tracks. Yeah, that was what it was about Jack Kirby and his granddaughter or his daughter. No, his granddaughter put out the uh, the statement by her father about it. Well, that's pretty good, you know. I mean, you at least you're teaching them something about someone who did something, you know. I mean, had Jack Kirby lived, I'm sure they would have had him part of this getting the Marvel stuff out there. And I think that both him and Stan would have probably, you know, excuse me, patched things up. Yeah, I think Apple TV, if you get the digital version of the Batman, there is a commentary track for that movie only on Apple Plus TV or Apple TV Plus or whatever you call it. Okay, folks, am I getting a Funko Pop? I would like to get the Funko Michael Keaton, that one, you know, to go with my Batman 89. But if they do a diorama, I'll get that one as well. Okay, folks, I think it's been an hour and a half. I like to keep these things down to an hour and a half. Um, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank RM, Irene Jobson, my moderators, Mikey Lito, The Force Unleashed, Thomas Bartholdi, um, everyone who's come to watch the show. I want to thank you all for watching. Join me tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. for another edition of Funko Friday. Next Friday, there will be no Funko Friday because I will be at the movies seeing Indiana Jones. But we will get to that when that happens. Um, as always, please remember to follow me on Twitter at Tom Jr. Jackson. Uh, be sure, folks. That's right, Irene. You know the drill. But also, folks, I want to remind you again, if you would like to write in a letter because you don't want to do comments, you can write in a letter to me. Well, how, Tom? How do we write a letter to you? Well, that's a really great question, and I thank you for asking me, even though you didn't ask me. So I'm going to tell you. And I don't know why all of a sudden I'm starting to sound like Chris from Family Guy. Oh, I don't know. Um, let's see if I can find it now. Just a moment. Do do do. Phantasmagorium channel. Mantis channel. Ah, here we go. If you would like to write in a letter, folks, here we go. Send me a comment, drop me a line, write an opinion, send it to that address, Tom's something something email 69 at proton.me. Send me a letter and I will read your letter on the air. And until next time, folks, thank you for watching the best damn show on the internet. I am your host, Tom Jr. Jackson, your friend, your moderator, your very goof emeritus. Until next time, folks, please remember, we all good people and bye-bye for now. And if you know what I'm doing, you know what I'm doing. Bye-bye, folks.